So I had a crazy glitch in Monster Hunter, and it reminded me of like a Superman glitch. So do you know any cool songs with Superman besides that stupid Three Doors Down song?
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Yeah,
That one?
yeah, that one. If I'm alive, and then will you be blah blah holding my hand? Like,
I'd honestly just rather start the show without a fucking song.
okay,
Let's
so
just do that.
all right, let's just start the show then. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Flock of Geeks Gaming. I am hosting. I am Kester, and with me always is Defense.
I am here. What episode? I think we're on episode 52.
Is it 52? Yeah, it is. I never really look.
One more than a deck of cards.
Nice. So we
That's
do have
that-
a pretty
that's
packed show today.
Yeah.
We got Resident Evil 5 news. We got the Anna Williams trailer. We're going to talk some Dragon Age and how that performed. WB just shuttering studios and being the worst. A little bit of Fable. We got a game trailer in there. And then some Bloober team news and Elden Ring news. And then we're going to go, since we've been gone for 8 years, we're going to go with our top 3 games of the past 8 years. So it should be fun. I'm excited.
I'm very excited about this. It was interesting to pick 3 games from it was just a weird time period, and there was a couple years there where they were just so much better than others. So
Yeah, it took me a couple of minutes to get my third one. My first 2, I just thought of immediately. They're the games I played the most.
my
These
first
past
list
years.
versus my list after a couple days of thinking of it actually changed.
Huh. Yeah, mine was just this. These are my games. I know.
That's what I appreciate about you. You're convict. You're just like, I have conviction in this. These are the best.
Yeah, and when we get to them, it's kind of funny because like 2 of the 2 of them I don't even play anymore, but like they have to be there. Just for
I know
what they
one
may-
of them.
Yeah, what they.
I
meant
know
to
one
be.
of them.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So you want to start out? So there was an announcement this week that Capcom has put out a patent for Resident Evil 5 on new consoles, which is, fueling speculation. Is this going to be a remake? Is this going to be a remaster? I personally like Resident Evil 5. I know a lot of people don't, but I still think it's a fun game. I'm thinking it's just going to be a remaster, though.
I hope they do a remake, but I think you're right. I don't think it's well loved enough, and I think that they're just gonna put least amount of effort and kind of cash grab it.
Yeah, the surprising thing, though, is RE5 is actually the highest selling Resident Evil game of all time. Did you know that?
No. Do you think it's because it was on sale more than 4?
I think it's because 4 was so good, and this one was co-op. So you and your friend had to buy it, maybe? I don't know.
I'll give you the reason.
Okay.
Resident Evil 5 didn't come out on the GameCube, dude.
Oh, that's very true. It was, what, 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is what it
It was
is.
like everyone could play it now, not just the people who had Xbox and GameCube.
Yeah, everyone
So
could
I
play
think
it. That was what it is.
I think everyone was like, we have to buy 5 because 4 was so good, but we didn't get to play it because we're Xboxers.
Yeah, we didn't have a GameCube. Like that, all the people that had a GameCube played it, but yeah, no one else did. And it came out on PlayStation 2, like way after.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it would. I think people are just clamoring for good games in general and are loving the new engine they're using. So I think they could go either way and make money on this.
I think so too, and I love Resident Evil 5. The more I'm sitting here thinking about it, it is like the most 2009 game ever made. There's like so many turret sequences. Chris's arms couldn't possibly be bigger. I love Chris Redfield.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at our logo now. It's
Yeah.
you, dude.
Yeah,
You are Chris.
Boulder punching Redfield is the best.
Like that's the thing. It's so campy and good. It's like, it ages like fine wine.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
If they remaster it, are they going to keep it that campy? Because they toned down the campiness of 4. So
Yeah, there was
is
a
it gonna?
slight camp down in the last
And I think
remake.
that's why it's not as good in a way of charm and nostalgia. There's no camp there. It's just like a really well done remaster of a
Yeah, real
game that, yeah,
really well done remake, but it did lose some of
yeah.
the camp. You can't like RE5 is mostly camp though. I think Wesker throws missiles at you. Like the end boss fight is in an active volcano where you're punching boulders. Like you have to keep that or it loses something.
Like I can't imagine the Chris Redfield from Resident Evil Village punching a boulder, right?
Nah, he looks like he stopped taking steroids. Like,
Yeah, he looks like the hardest thing he does is like organize his tool bench in the backyard, dude.
yeah, he's just like more of a dad bod now.
He's a handyman, and he found Milwaukee Light or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
He's like,
Miller
he's hanging out.
Lite. He
High
looks like
life,
he is definitely bringing like divorced dad energy. He's got like a beard now.
raiding people's family homes. My God.
Yeah, I know. I would still play RE5 again. Also, RE5 had my favorite versions of Mercenaries. So,
Oh, really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
that's the one where I thought Mercenaries was the best because it was all based on the headshot and then punching someone.
Plus, you're getting the best punch in any video game.
Yeah, and it had Barry in there too, and like
Oh,
his finishers, he would just grab the guy and headbutt him, and their head would explode.
did it have AOE? Like, did everyone back off?
Yeah, it kind of pushed everyone back. I mean, he just grabbed them and just exploded their head with his own head.
Even zombies who have no conscience were a gasp.
They're like, I'm gonna take 2 steps
Barry
back.
Burton's headbutt power.
Oh, that was the best part of the game. Now that I think about it, just
Yeah,
have
I
Barry.
do think though, like they could make bank with making it be like it's Resident Evil 4 remake with co-op, and it's a girl.
Yeah, that's kind of
It
what.
might be good.
Yeah, it would be good, man. That's a good game, and that's what sold it, I think. Because if you play Resident Evil 4, where do you go after that game? Because it literally did everything you could possibly do with that combat system. There were like elevator sequences, there were like train cart sequences, there were like so many like puzzles and stuff like that. What were you gonna do? A lot of boats and turrets is what they came up with and make it 2 player.
Resident Evil 4 could have been split into 2 games of progressing greatness, but they busted their nut into one. Like
Yeah.
with mechanics and everything. Like you just said, you could have gave me Resident Evil 4 like the first one and then made a second one with a little bit more in it. It would have been, that's basically what Resident Evil 5 is now. So it's like you didn't get enough.
Yeah, like every idea they had, they put into 4. So then it came back and, well, we'll make it co-op, maybe turret
And
sequences.
she, and she's left-handed.
Yeah, Shiva's ass, Chris's
Diva's
arm.
ass. I mean, she might like back in the day. Like, you can't argue that like, she didn't have a top 10 ass.
She did, and that's how they introduced her. Is her ass just comes into frame. I don't like that's the first shot of her.
Resident Evil 5 is ass and biceps.
Yeah.
That's all that game is. And
Yeah.
guess what? It's great.
Yeah.
Remake it.
Yeah,
Do
remake
Capcom.
it. Like I want HD ass and biceps.
All right. We've discussed already enough.
That's what we're ending
Don't
on.
get us started on Chris Redfield's arms.
Yeah, we'll
we
be
talk
here.
about him forever.
Yeah, we'll be here all day. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is Tekken 8, the Anna Williams trailer. Did you watch that?
I did. So this is Nina's sister, right?
Correct.
Okay, younger sister.
Yeah, I think she's younger sister, and like Nina killed her fiance. That's why Nina has the wedding dress skin, because she impersonated her and murdered her fiance. So they don't.
fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Tekken lore is real crazy. So they don't like each other.
Makes sense.
But
yeah,
she
I
looks
watched it.
fun to me.
I have so there's 2 things I want to say about her. One is I couldn't really like I don't know why I don't like rocket launchers in games at all. Like I don't want them in like a girl with a rocket launcher isn't as cool as a girl with any other weapon to me, and I don't know why.
I see it. Like, she's automatically not as cool as Nina because Nina has dual handguns.
Yeah, it's just like you're overcompensating or something. Like, do you have a big truck too?
Yeah, like, I get it.
So she looks kind of like quick, but also slow in her gameplay, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, she has the heat smash where it's like she uses the bazooka and the super move uses the bazooka. It's very one note.
Yeah, and I'm indifferent. I think I understand why she's there, and I'm not surprised she's there, but I'm not necessarily excited and wouldn't jump back into Tekken to play her.
No, I don't think I would jump back into Tekken for her. I mean, we like Tekken. We'll always play like sets of Tekken occasionally. It's a really fun game. But a lot of people I know in the fighting game community, and especially like the diehards I know who play Tekken, a couple of them I work with, the Tekken bros I call them. It's like their main fighting game, one of their favorite games. They are really disappointed in this character because they're just seeing it as a palette swap of Nina because they play pretty similar, and it's like you could have brought out any other character and they would have much rather seen it than have, basically a palette swap.
Yeah, so you get a palette swap. I can't argue this. You get a palette swap
with a bazooka,
and then you get with a bazooka, and you get Clive instead of Tifa. I do think they might be dropping the ball here.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with the DLC in Tekken so far. Is none of these characters are really exciting. Like, I don't know anybody who really cared about Lydia. Like, bringing Heihachi back was cool.
I was going to say, they kind of busted their nut with Heihachi, and then I will say I like Lydia's... I just like her. I think, like, if I was going to jump in again, I would pick her up and play her. But she's nothing, like, special. I don't think... I could see why people are like, eh.
Yeah, I think she looks cool, but I just think Tekken people don't really like her, from what I understand. I'm much more... Like, I totally get the disappointing in the DLC characters, because I'm real big into Street Fighter, and as much as I like Terry and Mai, I did not want them as DLC characters when there's so many actual Street Fighter characters you could bring in or make a new character. Like...
Yeah.
Ibuki isn't in the game, Sakura isn't in the game, Dan isn't in the game, but Terry Bogard is. Like, that's so stupid to me.
I want Balrog. Give me Balrog. Give me Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley. There's so many actual Street Fighter characters, and that'll transition into this, actually, because the reason they did it was because of Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, which just had its beta, is going to have Ken and Chun-Li.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why they did it. And I've never really played a Fatal Fury game. I did get on to try this beta because I am, big fighting game guy.
I was gonna say I guess anyone on this pod, so either of us is equipped to just test out a fighting game, it is definitely you.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you gave it a go. I was gonna ask if you did, but I was like, I'll just wait to ask on the podcast.
Yeah, I gave it a go. I thought it was pretty fun, but I think it might be my age at this point, and a lot of like purist fighting game players and really good fighting game players have like pros and stuff. They have a problem with mechanics like Drive Rush and Heat Smash and Super Dash and Dragon Ball, but I like a fun button where it's like you just hit this and something's gonna happen. City of the Wolves seemed so footsie and so defensive that I just don't see it as being a game for me. Like, you have to really like poke at each other. It's a four button fighting game. I think like if you're a fighting game purist, you'd probably really like it. It's more old school, like I don't even know.
Did you say like Virtua Fighter, maybe? Like old school Virtua? I don't know. I was gonna say, give me a comparison.
I'm trying to think. Like the closest thing I could think of is just like old King of the Fighters. I guess, which makes sense because it's an SNK game. But there's so many defensive options in the game where it seems like it's going to be more about blocking and using your guard shield thing you have. I don't even remember what it's called. I just don't see it as being for me, but it was fun. A big issue I had with it, though, is the beta was real bad because it was taking me 5 minutes to find a match. There was no training mode, so all you could really do is try and find matches. And after like playing for, you know, I have 2 hours to play video games a night. I'm not waiting 5 minutes to find a match.
No, not when in Marvel you can. It's literally you have a match before you click the button. It's like just waiting for you to accept it.
Street Fighter's the same way. It's instant. Tekken's instant. Like, I can't be waiting 5 minutes for a match. When I did get in a match, they played pretty well. Like, I played, I think her name was B. Janet. I just like the way she looked. 4-button fighting game. It's pretty easy, but I don't know. It just wasn't for me.
I'm gonna hear it. Like, does it have rollback netcode and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, they're keeping. I was gonna say that has to be like.
It's just standard now,
nowadays. Yeah. Okay. Good.
But
that's good. So they just gave a bad. They gave a bad demonstration of this game, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the consensus. Like, it didn't seem like any like 5 minutes is too long to find a match in an open beta that was 2 days and everybody was playing it.
Yeah, that's fishy. Because what's gonna happen when there's nobody playing it?
Yeah, I don't know. They have to release it. Everyone was saying they should delay it, but it's already committed to a couple of things, like the Esports World Cup, Evo. It's going to be at Evo, so it's like it has to come out. So hopefully they can fix these problems in 2 months, but I don't see it.
I'll be the devil's advocate. Yeah, you can't. You got to delay it.
Yeah, they can't, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think they're done then. If it's a must delay and they can't, they're done.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened to Concord.
That is what happened to every game that has had that situation thus far, since basically I'd say like 2022, 2023. Like, it's almost like no nonsense anymore.
Yeah, if you're not, people are like, this beta is bad, you need to delay this game. And you're like, we're good, we're going to set it out. Yeah. It is usually a death sentence.
Honestly, like, and if Skill Up or someone like of that caliber goes, hey guys, you should delay your game, and you don't, you're gonna hit a video soon after that says, told you so.
Oh, yeah.
That's happened every time.
Every time. I watch all the fighting game YouTubers because, you know, it is one of my favorite genres. My favorite sport is professional Street Fighter.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I watched every tournament. They're all saying this, like, the game plays good, but the game isn't ready to be released.
Yeah, okay. I know there's a lot of money riding on this, guys, but you got to. Honestly, they're probably weighing the balance sheets, and they're saying, you know, we'll make more money if we release it than if we don't.
Yeah, I think we're just their tournament commitments. They have no choice, so that's enough.
Well, Godspeed.
Yeah, good luck, City of the Wolves. I don't see it. Next, I just
it's Cow. I'm calling it Cow.
Yeah.
COWs. All right.
COW. I don't like your chances. Especially meaning like a broader audience besides hardcore fighting games, because that's the biggest thing that screamed to me when I was playing it is like, you have to know a lot about fighting games to play this game. You have to know what footsies are, guard breaks are, guard cancels are. Like, okay.
Yeah, you lost me real quick, dude.
That's what I'm saying. And you're a regular person. I got a job.
Yeah. That's like my mind went, oh shit, I got work to do.
Yeah, like, I understand that, but most people wouldn't, and you have to reach most people. So next I'm just going to move on to, I just wanted to talk some Dragon Age.
Yeah, let's throw some smack around on Dragon Age.
Because we both hated Dragon Age. It was a bad game.
Waste of my fucking money.
Yeah, I really regretted buying that. It was one of those, too, where I'd started off the first 5 or so hours, I'm like, man, this game's underrated, people. I don't know what's going on here. Then by hour 10, I was like, this is the worst game I've ever. This is so bad. And then I never played it again. I've
never felt the same. Like, it was such a drop off of wow, this game is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it was weird.
Real quick.
Yeah. Like, it was almost like it's slowly getting worse. And then at a certain point, you're just like, I'm not having fun playing this. I'm just getting hit by guys off screen. I hate this combat. I hate these characters. I hate this world.
It was the equivalence of getting blue balled in the video game world. And that's it. That was what that game was.
Just straight up blue balls.
Yeah, dude. Like, a really expensive blue balling that, like, it was just, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so EA came out and they had a couple of things that I thought were funny. The first one is they said that the game engaged with 1.5 million people, which is funny because what does engaged mean? Does that mean they bought it or did they try a demo? Did they, like, get it on Steam for an hour and refund it? So they don't even tell you how many...
Googled it?
Yeah, Googled it. Yeah, what does that mean, engaged?
They checked out a poster at the local Subway. Like, dude, yeah, I'll fucking... this podcast will get 1,000 engagements by Sunday. I'll just drop them off at the Dunkin' down the street. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, like, you don't even want to tell us what it sold, because engagements? Is that tried a demo? Is that, like, looked at the Steam page? Is that, like, clicking on it in the PlayStation Store?
Let me talk to this guy.
Yeah. Like,
give me 5 minutes. Be like, dude, just give me the real answer here.
Yeah,
Come on.
Give me the number.
Don't give me this fucking bullshit. And no one cares anymore. You're giving it away.
Yeah, like, that's the other reason it was such a waste of money. Like, they're giving it away next month. I'm so mad I bought this game. It was, what, 4 months ago?
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about this, dude, and like, I would not be. Dragon Age: The Veilguard changed me as a video gamer.
Okay, in what way?
It made me realize a lot about the industry. So, like, I might have wasted my money for pure entertainment, but I learned a lot about what live service was trying to do.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So the CEO, I think it was the CEO, Andrew Wilson, came out, and he basically said something along the lines of, the reason the game failed is because it failed to be an ever-evolving game. So basically, because it wasn't a live service, if it was a live service, it would have succeeded. Was his takeaway.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome, dude.
Talk about grabbing the wrong end of the stick. Like, are you kidding me?
That dude went to ChatGPT, said, what's the reviews on this game? And they say everything's negative, is live service related. He's like, all right, flip that and give me a good statement. And I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that. That's so fucking... It's literally the first thing when you look at the game. You're like, this was a live service game.
Yeah, like, do these CEOs not, like, look at gamer feedback, watch any sort of review? Every complaint about this game was the live service leftovers.
Right. And then the writing's so bad, dude.
The writing's bad, the combat's bad, the character is... Well, I like one or two characters. I like the look of them, but the world... Yeah, I think level design is real bad. That was the one thing where it was like, I do not want to explore this world. I hate walking around. There's nothing going on here. None of these puzzles are hard. And
why am I in a city and the most convenient way to get somewhere is this convenient zip line across a giant gap? Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this city, dude?
Yeah, that was the whole game. Every puzzle was like, go get this rock and put it in this thing and the door will open. I did that like 4 times. And then
in one room.
Yeah. Had it been an ever evolving game, though, I think I would have been on board. No, it was the terrible writing, the terrible characters, and everything else bad about the game.
I think we should send an email from flockofgeeksgaming@gmail.com that states, I agree with you, sir. If there was more live service, this game would have succeeded 1,000%.
I know. It wasn't that the combat was probably the stupidest combat. You had, well, I mean, in his defense, if it was a live service, they might have put more than like 3 enemies in the game that you fought over and over again.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he was onto something. Maybe it's I am who am foolish because I was tired of fighting the same 3 guys, listening to the same 3 people.
He'd hit you with the retort of, if this was a live service, you wouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah, you would have been fighting up to possibly 5 different types of enemies within 6 months.
And if you had the premium battle pass, you get access to the dragon mini boss battle.
Yeah, or you could get like a costume, or maybe you could change your voice or something like
a free character appearance change.
Yeah, I want to say that was in Monster Hunter. They gave you a free character appearance change.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that in the first one too.
Yeah, I saw that. I claimed mine, but I'm happy with my character in that game. Good, so we'll go on to more shitty game companies doing shitty things. So
that's why we're back, baby.
Yeah, it's so much worse than it's ever been. This industry is so fucked. WB Games, after failing miserably with everything they've tried to do live service wise, has come out and shut down 3 studios. Monolith Productions, which they made those Lord of the Rings games, those Shadow of Mordor games.
Oh, the Nemesis is the good ones. Yeah.
They're
pretty good.
Yeah, really good studio. They made good games. They were working on a Wonder Woman game that was announced in like 2001, so that's now canceled. And
wait, did you say 2001?
Oh, 2021, sorry.
Oh my god, I was going to say, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, which is still like 4 years of working on a game, and then it's just shelved.
Oh, yeah, especially for like, I mean, in the superhero, the world we lived in the last 10 years, it does make sense that there was one. It's a shame, though.
Yeah, and like it's like Monolith, they made Shadow of Mordor had a really good combat system. They have that Nemesis system that's copyrighted and nobody can use it till like 2036 or so. 36 is when that goes out of copyright, and then another studio can use it.
I love that. Like, there's this like this stupid written law that's basically like, you may not receive dopamine of this caliber for 10 years because of some stupid gibberish.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that was, because that system is one of those systems as a kid you thought should be and would be in a video game, and that's it. It is what it is in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's arguably the best Lord of the Rings game, and I would have loved to seen what they did with Wonder Woman. It's a shame. They also shut down Player First. Now, these are the people that did Multiverses.
Okay. Well, that was questionable.
Yeah, that one I think was just a matter of, like, that game won Fighting Game of the Year, and then they took it offline for 6 months.
Did it actually win?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won when it was in early access and beta, because everyone thought it was just out. And I never really played it but from, like I said, I follow the fighting game sphere. From what I understand, when they took it offline, it was like everyone was loving it. It had like high player counts. It was just, a certified hit. And then for some reason, they took it offline for 6 months. And when they brought it back, it was slower as a fighting game, and it just wasn't as good. And there was just like a bunch of microtransactions. So like they took it offline and made it worse.
So I downloaded it with a buddy. We were having a drinking night. We're like, okay, let's play just a random free game. And I'm like, well, this is like, why not? Smash Brothers, we'll check it out. Samurai Jack is in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I want to check out Samurai Jack.
There's a lot of cool characters.
Yeah, so I downloaded it. And it was like a mobile game immediately. I get these awful gut feelings.
Yeah, you never want the mobile feeling.
I get the mobile feeling, and then I'll just say too long didn't read. I only had access to 3 characters to play as, and one of them was on a 2-day timer.
Oh, and you had to buy the rest of them, or probably
Try to get them.
That was
I
the
don't
other
know.
thing.
I didn't waste enough time to figure out how.
I think you were right about that because I remember people complaining it like took too long to unlock characters. Like if you did it through actual gameplay, it took forever, but you could just unlock them by buying them.
Yeah, and I had like Jason and 2 other characters I had had no interest in playing.
Yeah, that might have
Jason
been what
Voorhees.
happened then when they took it. I don't know enough about the game because I'm not as into fighting games as I am. I'm not a platform fighting guy.
Yeah.
I like Smash Brothers when I'm with friends, but I would never get like seriously into it. So this game would have no interest for me unless I was playing it with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
I agree.
that's what happened is it had a bunch of characters, and then when it came back, you had to pay to get the same people or play way too long.
Live service.
Yeah, live service killed that one. And then
They doubled down and released it twice. Wow.
Yeah, and like I said, I won fighting game of the year. I'm almost positive, and then they're like, take it offline, bring it back worse.
I know for a fact it was at least nominated.
Yeah, just sounds like WB. They take it down, put it back up, make us more money, make it worse, and then they shut down WB Games San Diego. I don't have anything on them. It was just like another one they shut down.
Great.
Yeah, so let's go like maybe a little more positive news, or 50-50.
We'll see.
We'll see. Because I haven't talked to you. I want your thoughts on this because you and I both love us some Fable. So did you check out the alpha gameplay, and what are your thoughts on this?
I did, and thank God you let me know there was alpha gameplay. I've been busy, so you're like, hey, this is what we're looking at. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm checking that out. So I watched it real recently.
Uh-huh.
And if you want my thoughts on it, I think it looks like awesome. Like this is kind of how I remember Fable being when I was a kid. Like I'm getting those feelings like, oh yeah, sweet. But there's a part of me as a person who does work is like, why is this pre-alpha? And why isn't this more solid? Because this development it's been in development for a long time.
Yeah, it would have to have been.
And the fact that it looks questionable, like I'm watching, like it looks good if you're going shallow, but if you really watch the fighting, if you really watch the animations, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
Yeah, I think it looks solid, especially for it being pre-alpha. Like, you could definitely tighten this shit up, make it look nicer. It did feel like Fable, which is really all that matters.
I agree. Like, I'm. It's not like I'm not gonna buy it. It's that I thought it would be farther along.
Yeah, and they did. That was the other announcement. They delayed it out of this year to next year, which, these delays happen all the time. So I'm not even bothered by it or care that much anymore when a game gets delayed.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit annoying for me because I love this game series so much, and the only reason it's taking so long is because they're frittering.
Yeah, I love Fable a lot. Yeah, you are right. It's good.
They could have come out with 2 more games by now, and we're sitting
when
on
was
this...
Fable 3? How long ago was that?
I don't know, and it wasn't even it wasn't considered even that great, but it's still like...
I liked 3 a lot. That was a 360 game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked 2. I liked 2 better. I remember being like, 2 was better, but I like this one.
Yeah, what was your favorite Fable? Was it 2?
No, 1 is.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Anytime I'm like, I want to replay Fable, my gut is to play the first one.
Yeah, I've never replayed any of them. I think I've only ever played them all once, but I really enjoyed them. I like 3 a lot now that I'm thinking about it. Like, 3 had that cool system where, like, you were king.
Right, you had, like, a vault with your money piled up.
Yeah, and you had to either pile up enough money, because there was, like, a dark army about to, like, kill everyone in the town, your kingdom. So, you had to make, like, the choices in that game really mattered, which I liked, because it was... you can help these people, but then you're going to spend too much money, and then this army's just going to murder everyone. So it's like you're like a banker slash like knight.
Now that you're right, there was a little bit of accounting, I guess. Yeah, but it's just hilarious because you did get that power fantasy of like dealing with people's problems as king, and you just say yes or no.
Yeah, and there were consequences. Like I remember if you were like, I'm gonna be nice to everyone and try and save everyone, everyone just died.
Yeah, and you have no money.
Yeah.
Like there's like because you're giving it away to poor people, but they're like bandits. You don't. And it's like you don't have any money now.
And then you have to like try and build a real estate empire to like offset costs if anything. Now I'm going with 3. 3 is my favorite Fable game.
I think
I talked myself into it.
3 is by far the best. It's strategy, sex, love, economics.
Economics. It's like a class in Econ 101.
It's like Eco 101. How could I not be in love with this game?
Yeah, like if you want to know how to build a real estate empire, you could start with playing Fable.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a high school teacher. Economics 101, you just play Fable 3.
Yeah, see if you could save everyone and not make people mad.
It's the Oregon Trail of this generation.
Yeah, man, it was the burdens of being a king. That was such a good game. I wish I could replay that game. I don't know why I'm just like really hyped about Fable 3 suddenly.
Check out Game Pass, dude. It might secretly be on there.
Oh, yeah, I have Game Pass now. I should look. Okay.
If I don't know, it's definitely on Xbox Game Pass. PC's going to be questionable, but if you had, dude, you should go back, play it for a couple hours, and report back.
Okay, I will. I'll check in next week on how good Fable 3 is. I don't know. It's a big week, big game this week.
It is.
Yeah, and we are recording the day Monster Hunter comes out, so we're both very excited to play it. Next thing I got on the old news list is there was a gameplay trailer for a game called Total Chaos, which I just thought looked awesome. So I was like, Andrew, you should check this one out. I want to see what you think about it because it looks like a survival horror game. It looks pretty terrifying, and it looks like it has my favorite thing in a horror game, which is solid bashing of monsters.
It literally looks like their game design document was bashing and bottles.
Yeah. Like I love it.
I've never. It was really fun to watch, and I think the game looks really cool. I've never seen someone with so many bottles in their inventory just chucking them at monsters.
Just throwing bottles at monsters and then hitting them with pickaxes. Yeah, it does. It looks like it might be one of those like Silent Hill 2, where it was almost not scary because you were the basher, not the bashy.
Yeah.
Like I want to fight more. I want to see more of these monsters because I want to throw a bottle at them and hit them in the face with a pickaxe.
Yeah, well, what's that? Whoosh, there's a bottle, bitch.
Yeah,
that's that game. But it does. It looks fun. It gives me like the gameplay of like it's like very dodgy and melee oriented. Reminds me of Callisto Protocol from like what I hear that game's like. I actually never played that game.
I tried, but that game when it was free, it's not good. It's a bad game.
Oh wow, I'm not surprised.
I don't want.
Just so you know.
Yeah, don't bother people.
I won't.
Yeah,
I won't. But so hopefully it's better than that.
You can do anything else.
Like when it comes to like horror bashing, that game like initially thought looked cool because it was like you're beating the shit out of monsters with like a wrench and stuff.
Yeah.
In third person, but
yeah, to me this is like Skill Up does that. Put this on your radar. This would be what I would tell. Put this on your radar, bashing monsters and throwing bottles at them. Like I love everything
Total
about this
chaos. Game. Yeah, I do. It's fun. It was a fun trailer to watch, and by the end of it, I will say I was sold.
Yeah, and it's just because too, like I'd never heard of this game. I've never seen anything about it, but I just like happened upon the trailer, and I was like, this game looks so much fun. So just thought I'd throw it out there.
Total chaos, baby.
Okay, next bit of news is the Elden Ring Nightreign beta happened, and the release date is May 30th. And people seem kind of mixed on this one. I didn't get a chance to play it. I don't know if it was public. Did you play it at all?
I didn't. It was a pre-sign up beta, so like you had to sign up a couple months ago, and I guess we just didn't do that.
Yeah, so. I think too. I'm out. I'm Elden Ringed out. Like I'm good on Elden Ring.
That's where I'm at, man. It's yeah, I want to be pumped, but I'm not.
No, it could be fun. I'm not here, especially if they're gonna budget title this thing for $40. It might be worth playing, but it looks just like a third-person 3-player roguelike. I don't know. I don't really like roguelikes.
Yeah. Last episode we were just talking. You're not even a fan of them, and I'm not a huge fan either. It takes a lot, and to me, Elden Ring isn't about quick, flashy gameplay. That's Sekiro, Ninja Gaiden, like those games. Like, if I was playing like a Dark Souls Elden Ring game, like I just kind of want tense, precise, slower battles, I guess. Like, I don't mind that stuff. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So to like mix those two together, I think is just kind of silly.
Yeah, it could be really fun. Everything I've watched on it, though, I haven't been getting like a lot of like you must play this vibes out of it. I like Elden Ring. I actually thought the Elden Ring DLC, I had more fun with that than the actual game Elden Ring.
Well, that's interesting. I would disagree with you on that.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not here,
honestly.
yeah, to say Elden Ring isn't anything other than a masterpiece. I'm just out. I'm Elden Ringed out after how big the base game is, and then how big the DLC is. That's enough Elden Ring for me.
Yeah, I don't need any more Elden Ring. Just anything else.
Yeah, I want them to do something else. Is the main takeaway from this.
I heard an interesting theory though that this was like they promised they would, because Elden Ring was so big and everything was going on with live service. They promised a sort of Elden Ring or FromSoft live service game in a contract, so they just turned this into a budget title live service thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
They're just shipping it, getting it out the door, and they're actually secretly working on something else that's important. So I feel like that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if it comes out and it's $40 and people love Elden Ring and you like this game,
sell buku bucks.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if it was great. I just don't know. Like,
I'm very up in the air. This is like normally FromSofts are day one purchases for me, but this one is a very much. I'm gonna watch some Twitch gameplay, and if after I watch for like an hour or two, I still feel like I want to play it, I might. But it might be like, what am I getting out of this game other than just killing stuff over and over again?
Yeah, and I think too, with us being older, it's hard to get 3 people together on a nightly basis to try and play something like this. We all have lives and jobs, and
I'd honestly rather play Marvel Rivals with you than this.
Yeah, if I was gonna play a game with my friends, I think I would rather play Marvel or it takes
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. It takes.
I mean, that's another one coming up. So.
Yeah. All right, last bit of news. Well, now I got 2 more bits of news. Next one, Bloober team that made Silent Hill 2 did come out and say they are working on another game for Konami, which is
congratulations. Woo!
Yeah, they nailed Silent Hill 2. I'm hoping they make another Silent Hill game. I would think they'd remake one. It says Konami project, but what else would it really be? Can you think of anything like Castlevania?
Oh, so
Metal Gear.
So what you're saying is it is definitely a Konami title, like IP.
Yeah, it's a Konami IP, but they didn't say if it was another Silent Hill game or something new.
I think they're gonna do 3. I think I don't think they care about like how the game franchise like played out with story wise. I think that like 3 is memorable enough that people are like, I remember that girl. I would play that game.
Yeah, go right to 3. I think
she's marketable enough. If they make her, in my opinion, they make her cute and they do that. She has that angle.
I can't even remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Yeah,
but she's
it's
a blonde,
bother
right?
me. Yeah, she's a blonde. She has like the Marty McFly vest on.
Yes. I think that
mini
she's a
skirt.
marketable
She's got
character.
a great look. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's hard. Like, they didn't remake 4 and then remake 3 of Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. There's no point in going back to 1 after you made 2.
Mechanically, there shouldn't be anything better in the first Silent Hill than in the second remake. So you're just like, like, what are you doing? And that actually, as a game developer, will hinder how the game plays, and it'll be weird. They might need to go to 3.
I could see that, but 3's story doesn't make sense without 1. Like, 3 is a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1. So I would rather them remake 1. I think 1 would do better with the remake. Like, 1 has a lot of...
It.
Yeah,
I think
it needs it. And
100%.
I can't remember the last time I played 1. It's been years, but just the school, the hospital, remaking all those locations would be really cool. The like amusement park, and then you could go from 1 to 3, because 2 is such a standalone game. It's not really connected to the rest of the Silent Hills. So 4 isn't either. So they could remake 4, but the opinions on 4 are very mixed. Yeah.
Right. I think 3 again, I think it's either 1 or 3.
I think you're right. It's definitely 1 or 3, because I
if
can't.
It's both?
Could be both.
What if they say, fuck it, we have the engine, we can do the same amount of time, we can do double the amount of content, 2 games. They give you, I don't know how long the first Silent Hill 1 is. Maybe it's short enough that it's like, it's only 3 hours anyway.
It's about as long as 2 was.
Okay. Well,
like,
if you don't add in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, 1 is, it's long, and you have to really run around the town a lot. I guess that's just padding. You could probably pare
padding,
down.
and you're playing with fucking tank controls.
Yeah.
So
terrible boss battles. And the story in that game is, for Silent Hill, it makes sense, but it does become like culty, where it's like, it's a cult. That's
right.
Like classic survival horror thing where, it's creepy stuff going on, but you write yourself into a corner. So you're like, cult. Like Condemned did that. Indigo Prophecy did that.
I think if I were in like a room, a board meeting, I'd be like, I think 1 deserves it and needs it, but I think if we want to make money, we should do 3.
3.
That's my opinion.
That is.
You're bringing a woman into it. There was a male protagonist. Now it's a female protagonist.
And 3 is very well regarded. 3 has some of the best scares.
Yeah.
From memory. I think you remake 1 and 3. I think you're leaving money on the table if you don't do both. But you're right. It would be weird, like Silent Hill 2 remake, and then a year later, Silent Hill 1 remake. Why didn't you just start with 1?
Yeah, and then you gotta admit, like, oh, we were just testing the waters, and be like, oh, so you didn't believe in the franchise, you pussy.
Yeah, basically. You didn't believe in Bloober Team, and they came out swinging.
So I think what you do is you give them the 3rd, they remake the 3rd, or you give them 1 and 3, and they come up with a cool way to combine them in some way. I don't know how.
It is a possibility, because they are directly linked.
Yeah, maybe do, like, some of the missions you go, like, some of the sequences you're back in the first game and play through an area as him.
You could even go to the end of the first game and then be like 17 years later.
That'd be sick. No one knew it was coming. They just call it Silent Hill Remake, and it just leads into the entire 3rd game.
It would be incredible, but you're leaving money on the table, because you could charge for 2 separate games.
You could.
Even if they were half as long. You could still charge for 2 games. Look what the RE3 remake did.
Yeah, I'm trying to give Bloober Team, like, do 1 and 3, and then do your own fucking game.
Yeah, they should maybe try and do their own game. You don't think there's any way this is something else, Konami? Like Castlevania, they own Metal Gear.
No, because Metal Gear 3's coming out. That's already handled.
I would like to see them give somebody Castlevania. I don't know if Bloober Team necessarily fits that, but they need to. Like, Konami's sitting on like some of the greatest IPs of all time. They need to bring back some of these.
I can't argue that like a Castlevania. Hate to say this, Kester. I fucking hate to say this.
Yeah.
A Castlevania with the perspective of like God of War, the new one, might be really awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
And that would be the only way I could see Bloober Team approaching Castlevania, because that is what Silent Hill 2 was.
Yeah, and you think about how many games out there that are like, this game is like Castlevania. Devil May Cry has Castlevania influences. Bloodborne is Castlevania, basically. Like, why can't we get an actual Castlevania?
I think people are terrified of the IP and don't want to touch it because it's like a holy grail of gaming.
Yeah, Castlevania is so good. I love Castlevania.
And I don't think you could. I don't think Bloober Team could make enough money to make a Castlevania game and Konami accept it. I think Konami's scared shitless, and they're sitting on their Netflix Castlevania money, just happy enough
and their
with that.
Pachinko machines, is that what they do? They're just
like they don't need like us as gamers are like, how are they even in business? And they're probably one of the most profitable game developers there are because of gambling.
Yeah, and I think our age group does this a lot too, where we're like, bring back this, bring back that. Do young people care about Castlevania? Like, if you're under the age of 20, do you even know what Castlevania is or care?
No, but the thing is, you gotta just tell them, be like, you ever hear Castlevania? Yeah. I bet they'll be interested. That's a cool fucking name, dude.
Yeah. Plus, we're all the people that want it. We're the ones with disposable income. Like, bring back Castlevania. I don't get it.
Well,
But you're right.
We're getting Metroid, the Metroidvania. At least we're getting one of the two.
Yeah, and I think you're right. This is definitely going to be another Silent Hill. So
I just don't see anything else. I think everything else is like definitely not this, definitely not that. The only one it could be, I think, is 1 or 3 in Silent Hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1. If you want to go 3, then we'll.
I'll go 3.
Right.
You want to say like wings? You want to go to dinner?
Yeah, we could do wings. Wing bet.
All right, we'll do a wing bet, and then we'll come back and be like, hey, we went on our wing bet date.
Yeah, and all right. So, last piece of news is it Phil Spector? Is he the head of Xbox?
Spencer.
Okay, my bad. Came out and basically, I can't remember the quote, but Xbox exclusivity is officially done. So there's no point to buy an Xbox. PlayStation just kind of crushed them out of the console war, and almost all their games are on PC anyway. So if you're gonna have a console, you have a PlayStation or a Switch. Even though the Switch, it's like Nintendo is kind of its own thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
And yeah, it's just
as a gamer, I feel like the Switch is like almost like a calculator. It like doesn't really do much, but you need it.
Yeah, exactly, because it
does one thing. It does it really well. Arithmetic.
Yeah, you're gonna get a Zelda, you're gonna get a Mario, and there's nowhere else to play it.
Yeah, it's my pocket like Link player.
Dude, I spent $300 on a Switch. I played 5 games, and it's still sitting there.
And, like, didn't we go halvesies on Bayonetta, and you didn't finish it, and I still have yet to play it?
Yeah, we went halvesies. I don't know why Bayonetta 3 didn't grab me. I got about halfway. I played that. I played the Marios. I didn't even play Tears of the Kingdom. I played Breath of the Wild.
You didn't even play Tears? Wow.
No, because I gave my Switch to my nephew, and I couldn't take it back, so...
I mean, if you want my hot take on Tears, is I don't really like it.
A lot of people love it. I just don't really care to play it. I don't know why.
If anyone, the only way I'm ever going to talk more Tears is if we get a direct comment on one of on the episode that goes, "Please explain why Tears is bad," and then I will.
Then maybe I'll play it and we'll see what happens. It's kind of funny too, because thinking of the end of the Xbox, it's weird because they did win a console generation. The 360 was a great machine. That was undeniable. But we're sitting here like we could talk about all their great exclusives, and I can think of two, and I'm sure it's the same two you could think of.
I'll say one and you say the other, and
right.
then we'll see if those are the two.
Okay.
So you give me one of yours.
Halo.
Gears.
That's what I got.
Okay. All right.
But what's funny is we talked about it earlier, Fable, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3.
Yeah, that's true. It was right in it was on the paper.
It was literally on the paper, and we couldn't even think about it. That's how forgettable Xbox exclusives are.
Yeah, well, I guess Starfield. Well, I guess no, it's PC too.
Yeah, it's PC. I'm trying to think. There was that motorsport game, that racing game people like.
Oh yes, Forza.
I remember a game called Armed and Dangerous on the original Xbox being exclusive and amazing.
Brute Force. Haven't seen that one in a good decade.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That's it. I'm really stumbling. And Halo, great game, probably like defined a generation of console FPSs.
Yeah, it's so strange too. Like you say Halo and Gears of War as the two exclusives from Xbox 360, and I would argue that those two are still the basis of some of the most successful video games right now. Like any first-person shooter, you can't say Halo didn't influence it.
Yeah, correct.
Did. And any third-person action shooter game,
yeah, kind of
was also influenced by Gears of War. Like
popular
if you have
cover base.
Like I think 360 was such a great console because the few exclusives they did have. So we listed 3. All 3 of those games are outstanding.
Yeah, and it's hard to remember. Too. Like there was probably a lot of stuff that was exclusive that also came out later on. Like started out exclusive as Xbox games, but then eventually got ported to everything.
For sure, and because Morrowind came out on console, it was only on Xbox.
Yeah, same with Oblivion,
Skyrim, like those games did, but those eventually got ported to everything.
Yeah, I would. It makes sense too, because now, I mean, you have Activision, you have that like Call of Duty library. You have to put those games on PlayStation if you want to see sales, and single console strategy anymore. It just like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth undersold because it was PS5 or exclusive. Like you can't be exclusive. You're gonna take a hit.
Yeah, you're gonna take an unwarranted, honestly, an unnecessary hit.
Yeah, and they're gonna make so much more money from software sales than they ever would have from hardware sales. So it just makes sense. So I never.
This scares the shit out of me, dude, because this is just inevitably leading into a pool of us streaming games. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is going to be nothing but streaming games, and a lot of it too is I see consoles just not really existing in a couple of years. It will be all like PCs. That's why I finally broke down and got one.
And your honest opinion, like how have you liked or not liked, like what's your pros cons of gaming on the PC now that you've done it for a little bit?
I'm kind of wondering what took so long, but I'm also like glad it did take so long because I have like such a sexy PC. It's like very nice.
You waited for that moment. You're like, oh yeah, patience, baby.
And it is just better gaming on a PC with graphics are better, frame rates are better. I actually, now that I'm used to it, I would much rather play on a mouse and keyboard. I never thought that would happen. But even Monster Hunter is better on a mouse and keyboard.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a shot. I wasn't going to. I was gonna go straight to controller, but I think I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I started on controller with it, but there's just this like one gameplay mechanic where you have to hold R1 and then aim, and it's like you can't really do that on a. You'll see if you try a controller what I'm talking about. I don't know how to describe it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but like playing now, like especially Marvel, playing Avowed, like all that stuff was better on a PC. Like I'm very glad I finally pulled the trigger on a PC, and I could see why it was cost. It kept me from doing it for so long, but now that I have a lot more money, it was an easy decision.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I still play my PS5 a lot because I play my gacha games on my PS5.
But like, are you going to start any new games on the PS5 versus just playing it on PC?
No, I don't think that I would. I think I would just buy everything on PC now.
Unless Bloodborne comes out.
Yeah, unless it's a console exclusive for a PlayStation. So I get like PlayStations. I can see why they're still selling, especially like when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. I bet you that moves a lot of PS5s.
A lot of PS5 Pros, especially if they are like, the only way to play this is 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro. You watch, dude.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
That's good. It's gonna be sickening.
And I like that
what
too.
they're gonna do with that game.
Consoles should exist for that specific reason. Like not everyone can spend, like I had to spend over $3,000 on my PC to get one that I really liked. PS5's $500. Like
plug and play, no bullshit.
Yeah, no bullshit, plug and play. And I love my PlayStation, but I think if going forward I'd always probably play on PC.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's kind of how I feel. There's always going to be a place for me to play console games.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, I'd rather just play it on the computer.
Yeah, the only thing I like better about is the TV screen is bigger, my chair is nicer in front of the TV.
Yeah. That makes sense, but the issue I've ran into is now I connected my TV to my computer, so now I have zero excuse.
Yeah, if I
can just play my computer on my TV now.
Yeah, I started doing that, but my desk, I have to move the whole computer to do that, and it's just like,
Yeah, that's like when you move next, you set that scenario up.
When I'm planning to move this summer, I'm gonna set that up.
Hell yeah!
So that's it for news. This we just thought would be fun since what is our games of the past 8 years. You want to go first on this one, or?
I have actually, before we start this, I have two tidbits that I'd like to add.
Okay.
One, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. I forgot all about this.
So I guess it was kind of on the DL, but someone just jacked the game, like stole it from a warehouse, from somewhere. They don't know how they got it, but they got the game.
Like a physical copy? They stole it?
Physical copy of the game. Oh, that's
great.
They just started handing them out, selling them over social media, and playing them. And honestly, I didn't look into like what they thought of it, because nowadays...
Yeah, I heard people were streaming it.
Yeah, like it could be an agenda at this point, like what's going, their opinions on it. But I think it's just hilarious. And Ubisoft just comes out and goes, "Yeah, that's it. That was the game."
What are we gonna do?
What they said was, "Don't play it because the first patch is gonna make the game way better."
I mean, what else?
They basically said, like, please don't play it because the first patch is gonna what makes it great.
Yeah,
just to try to like keep people from playing it. Yeah, and people are just like, nah, dude, we're playing it. Yeah. And so that game's fucking toast. If you want to watch the end of a game developer studio, just watch this one. Yeah, because it's over, man.
It's weird about Assassin's Creed is, I genuinely enjoy some of them, and it's funny because it's been going on for so long, and there's so many games that every once in a while, like, I pick one up. So the last one I played was Odyssey, but I didn't play the two before that. I didn't play Valhalla. This one I was interested in because it's like ninjas. I'll play as a ninja, so I was like maybe gonna pick this one up. So we'll see.
I think you should. And the thing is, and it's hilarious, Kester. You've only played the good one.
Yeah, somehow I've done that.
No, that just means you have good taste, and that's great.
Yeah, didn't play Origins.
Odyssey was fucking awesome, dude.
Odyssey was really good. I had a lot of fun playing Odyssey. It's too... Valhalla, I heard, was too long. I didn't play that one, because you play one, you've played them all.
I feel like when I played Valhalla, dude, I literally felt like they're like, here's Assassin's Creed on Google Maps in Antarctica. Like you could just like put your person on Google Maps and explore. That's what that game felt like. I'm like, this is nonsense. This is like this is like the National Geographic documentary on Vikings, and nothing actually happens because the budget was like $50 and they picked up a homeless guy for a Viking. It's just like it's there's nothing to it, and then there's moments of greatness. It's like, oh my god, that like combat sequence, that animation was fucking tits, so good, but the game is so padded and gross, like. Ugh.
Yeah, I've never played that one. I don't know how or why I decide which ones to pick or play. I'm just like, I could go for an Assassin's Creed, and then I'll, go on the old PSN and pick one.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be great. Like, I think playing as the chick ninja girl is gonna be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I think that the gooner in me, that's why I want to play Chick Ninja Girl.
I want to too, and I think it's gonna be fun. I just think they just fumbled this so bad with the culture references, the flubs of just like the main character, the Black Samurai, and how they went about just the creation of his character and how they explained it and how it's just based on nonsense. It's insane.
Yeah, they've missed a lot of marks, so we'll see what happens. They need this game to hit too.
They do, and it's already been stolen. They need it to hit, and they already got jacked. Like, that's what I mean, guys. Like, it's over.
Yeah, and everyone's seen it now. They know what it's like. You're not gonna have that, like, people who day one buy it without seeing or playing anything, kind of.
Right. So, we'll see. I'm calling it. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be worth a buy. But I think it's gonna be their last real Ubisoft title we're gonna see. Something weird's gonna happen. We might see another Ubisoft game, but it's gonna be a completely different thing.
Yeah, they do have to change their style. People are tired of it.
Yeah. So one more thing I want to add in. This was like super last minute, and it was like cool enough for me to be like, I need to check this out. They're coming out with a new Terminator 2D side scroller game called Terminator 2D No Fate, and it's literally verbatim the movie in side-scroller action Contra form.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, like it's scene for scene I'm looking at. Like it's crazy. And
is there
everyone's
a trailer?
Saying, yeah, dude. I just saw it today while I was working. I'm like,
you should have texted me. Yeah, well,
I should have. I know. Yeah. I was busy. I'm sorry.
Like Terminator 2, is it in the future? Or is it like you play as Arnold?
So no, you play like some of the levels you're in the future fighting Terminators, and then you go back to the movie scenes where you're playing as Arnold or the kid or the mom. You play as Sarah Connor a whole bunch. Like,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, dude, check it out. Everyone should check it out. I think it's gonna just like, I don't even think they're gonna need to market it much, and it's gonna be a huge success.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is so good. I think I've seen Terminator 2 more than any other movie.
Why?
I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid.
Was it your cozy movie or something?
I don't know. When I was a kid, like every Friday, my dad was always watching Terminator 2, so I just kept. My dad loved that movie. He watched it over and over again, so I ended up just watching it so many times. It's between that or Dumb and Dumber, but I think Terminator 2 would have it.
Wow, I mean both amazing.
Yeah, I love Terminator, so I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, check it out. I think it'll be a budget title. I'm thinking 30, $40 maybe. It might even hit like a 19.99 title price.
Nice. I'm going to check it out, and I'll get back to you next week if I have any thoughts.
Yeah. I don't even know when it's releasing. I literally was like, oh my God, this looks amazing. And then I had to run away.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's it for me. So we could go back to our top 3 games of the past 8 years.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with the most obvious here. Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, okay.
Just kidding. That game sucked, dick.
I don't want to get into it, but I'm on the other end of that.
No, yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. That is not that. I think for me, like the most obvious game that just blew up, and if you were going to play one single game that defined the last 8 years, it'd probably be Baldur's Gate 3.
I totally see that for you. I like Baldur's Gate. I didn't ever beat it. Too chatty. By the third act, I was bored.
Yeah, it's like just one of those games that like I'll never forget it. I'll remember my relationship with Shadowheart. You know, like I'll remember all that stuff, and I can't say that about a lot of video games. So it has to be in my top 3.
Plus, it does have. I think the reason I didn't finish it, not because I was like, I can't play this anymore, I'm done with this game. I think something else came out, and then I just never went back to it. But I really could see how that is your game, because you love D&D. Mm-hmm. You like story, so I totally understand that one. That is, yeah, and it is like a genre-defining game of the past 8 years.
Yeah, I've just put so many hours into it. I've played it with so many of my friends. It would be a dishonor to me to say, like, this game did it. Like, to help define me as a gamer in some way or another. And, you know, it just came out. But it came out in 2023, too. So, pretty recent.
All right, I'll go with the one where I think you know what I'm going to pick. And this one is tough because I thought about not picking it because of the fact that what it did, but for a time and for how much I played it and how much I loved it, I have to pick Genshin Impact.
Yep, that's definitely the one I would pick for you too. Yeah, that was a guessing.
Yeah, like I love the art style. That game has a great storyline to me. I like how it's structured almost like anime arcs with regions. I put so much time into that game. I think I have like 600 hours into that game. Does make me sad, and this was picking this one and another one, my next one, where I don't play Genshin Impact anymore. I think Withering Waves does everything Genshin does, but less scummy and with a better combat system. I wish I still could play Genshin, but what it did with the like Natlin and the banners, I'm just like, this is gross, and I'm out.
And how many years did you put into that game?
4.
Yeah, and it's like someone as dedicated as you, it's something that you, in the back of your mind, you're like, this isn't the best business situation, but like I love it. Like there is something here for me. I know that feeling, and for you to be like, this is fucking no.
Yeah,
like, that's bad news.
Yeah, I can try to describe it. So basically, it's a gacha game. Everyone knows how that works. You have to summon your characters. Well, up till the last region, I'd been playing long enough. It was reasonable enough. Like, if you did your dailies, if you did all your events, you could get characters you wanted, characters reran that you liked. None of the content do you need a certain character for. Like, you can beat everything with whatever characters you want. But in Natlin, they released the Archon, and the Archons are the big characters. They're the ones you want. They're the ones everybody wants. And with the Archon, they released another character. And it was like, for the Archon to work, for her to be on her best team, you needed both these characters. And they released them on the same banner. So basically, and normally it'd be like, here's the Archon, and then here's the character you need. No, they released them at the same time. So there was no way, it didn't matter how many primos you saved, to get both of them to make the team work. So you basically were forced into a situation where you would have had to spend money to get her best team. And I had waited like 6 months for her to come out. And it was like, oh, if you want to play her, you got to spend money. And I just thought that was gross.
Well, and then like if you didn't say you didn't spend money, you're like, I'll wait for her to cut or the person to come on the banner next time. What if they came back as a duo again and you got her again and not the other character?
Well, you can pick which one you can pick.
Oh, okay. But that's still another 6 months of bullshit.
Yeah, who knows when she's going to rerun. They're not going to rerun them together soon because they wanted people to spend money. I mean, I didn't even honestly have a problem with, like, they've done that before where, like, here's the new character, here's their best support, but they're on separate banners with free, like, wishes you can earn and some time between them. This was like, we're not giving you any of the rewards, we're saving them till the next banners. So they didn't give you any free wishes. They were like, here are the 2 best characters. If you want this team, you're going to have to spend money. And it's gross. And then I started playing Withering, and Withering gives you enough wishes to get whoever you want. You don't have to spend money.
That's a shame.
Yeah, so I will always still play Genshin, but I'm never going to spend money on it, but I will finish it because I do love the story and the characters. All right, so what do you got next?
So, all right, I don't know if this would be on your list, but I need to put it on the list. Sekiro.
Okay, it was close. That was one I was considering.
Yeah, it was in my consideration list. I had a couple. I had like 5 or 6, so it was a little bit hard to hit the top 3.
Yeah.
But Sekiro, that came out 2019, and yeah, it's the closest thing. We talked about it last episode. It's the closest thing I'm ever gonna get to, I think, Tenchu. So I love it. I think it's great. It has probably, I think the sword duel with Genichiro is one of the most well done boss battles I've ever played in a game. But not even when he goes into the lightning form. Just you and him
in the meadow.
No bullshit. Yeah, you know, like, well, no, on top of the I'm talking about like the mid boss.
Oh, the mid boss. Yeah.
Wall.
That is really good.
I love that fight. I play that game often just to get to that fight and play through that fight. I think that it's just beautiful gaming. So I give Sekiro as one of my spots.
Yeah, I totally see that. Sekiro was close for me. When I was trying to come up with like my third one, I was thinking single player game, and I could only think of one that beat that out. Like Sekiro would have been my next single player game. It'd be my number 2.
Cool. I think I know what your number 1 is then. God damn it.
That combat system in that game is the ultimate, like, get good. There's no leveling strategies. There's no build strategies. You just have to be good. You have to get good.
You're a washed up shinobi with a weird arm and a sword.
Yeah, and you have to get good.
Get good.
Yeah, just get good. Like, I can't beat the end boss, so you're not going to level up to do it.
Were you drunk? Try that.
Yeah, sometimes it helps.
I did. I got wasted on the end boss and beat him.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
I was so mad. So mad and wasted.
Yeah.
I was like, no sleep until he's dead! And then I just passed out.
Yeah, so my single player one is... And I'll just say that I'm going to count them both, but the Final Fantasy remakes for 7.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
Like, they count as one.
Yeah, those games, Final Fantasy is so important to me as a gamer and as a franchise. 7 is so good. I love that game. You could have asked me what was one of the best games of all time. I would put Final Fantasy 7 there, and for them to do such a good job with the remake, it is just incredible. Especially Rebirth, the second one. It was just like anything they could think of that would be fun, they threw it in that game.
I think it's a pro and a con to that game.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me. I think because it's like... I couldn't finish Rebirth, dude.
Yeah, I can understand that because there is so much. Like, it's 120 hours. Like, you
And I
have to
wanted
put
to
in.
experience the whole thing because like you said, like they put everything in that game, and I appreciated every single part of it. Honestly, it just was like too much because I just didn't have enough time to do it all.
Yeah, this is your Baldur's Gate where it's like, you see why I love it, but it was just too much for you.
Yeah, and like I have a fucking Tifa mouse pad. I mean,
Yeah.
you can guess what's on there.
Yeah.
So it's like I love this shit. I really do. It's just I think what I'm gonna do one day, it'll be like, why do I have this summer off? I don't know. I broke my leg. I'm just gonna play Final Fantasy
Maybe when
VII.
you retire,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe when I'm fucking 73.
it'll be your retirement game. Yeah, that game made me laugh. It made me
Hopefully the
cry.
third one
Oh.
comes out though. Hopefully the third one comes out.
Hopefully the third one comes out. They did say they're working on it, and I think whenever they finally port it over to PC and stuff, it'll get the sales it needed to get it.
Yeah, I just think it's like it deserves more money, and unfortunately, it didn't get it.
Yeah, and I think it should have won a lot more awards, but Astrobot was just that good. And
Oh, that's such a kick in the nuts.
yeah, because Astrobot's like a Mario platformer game, and this thing is like 120 hours of cutscenes, music, battles.
Literally one of the most epic, like epic in every sense of the word, video games.
Yeah, it is like the most epic game ever, and it lost to a robot jumping around. And I love Astrobot, so
And it's literally like it's just like a shill mascot video game. It's the equivalent of like Dot from Sprite
yeah, pretty much.
beating out a fucking Shakespearean movie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, they couldn't have done better with that remake, story-wise. It's like more of a sequel. Like, you had to play the first game to get the most out of it, which is great. So I'm going Final Fantasy VII.
And I think that's actually wasn't even. I actually didn't consider it because I didn't beat the second one yet. But like, I can't argue with how fucking amazing that is. Those games are, every single one of them.
And it's one of the things too.
They're all good.
I would never want to ruin the ending for you, but that ending, man, of Rebirth was so fucking good to me.
Okay, good. So you liked it.
Oh
I don't know if we even discussed it.
No, like, you may want to play it someday.
I will,
yeah.
dude. I will. I'll get the hankering. Tifa will call me up and be like, "Listen, we gotta finish. I need to take a shower."
I mean, Tifa is the hottest girl in video games. We both agree on that.
I can only play a game with her in it for like 30 hours, and then I have to tap out.
Too turned on.
I start contemplating like going single mode in real life, like trying to find where Tifa's at. Delusional. I get delusional, one might say, if I hang out with Tifa for more than 30 hours.
Delusions of grandeur.
Yes. And she's always in my party, so like it's like,
yeah, you're not gonna take her out.
No, people say silly things like take her out of your party. It's no, I'll take Cloud out before Tifa's leaving.
Yeah, you get to go on a date with Tifa in that game, dude.
I know.
You should at least get to that.
Maybe that's why I don't, dude. I'm like afraid it's not gonna be as good as it should be, and I know it is.
No, it is.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to log in, right? I gotta get to Monster Hunter, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you want to go with your final pick here?
Yeah, my final pick. It came out in 2019, so another 2019 game. Set My Soul Ablaze, and it is the game, my favorite game to not recommend to my friends. Death Stranding.
Yeah, there's no way I could play that game. I don't know why. You like it, like your love for that game makes me want to try it.
I appreciate that. And
Plus,
you'd
isn't
hate
Conan O'Brien in that game?
He is. He's one of the like stops you can help out. Yeah.
Oh, see, I would love that.
He gives you a beaver helmet. Like, you meet him and he's like, you're like, that guy looks like Conan O'Brien with a beaver hat on, and it is.
Yeah, he did a segment on it. That's how I know that, because he did a Clueless Gamer on that game.
And if you wear the beaver hat, you can like go down the rivers and streams like without losing your shit. Like you can use it as a way of transportation.
So what is it about Death Stranding you would say you like so much?
It's not necessarily like I'd be like, this is the best story ever told. This is the best writing ever told. It doesn't do anything better than any other game I've ever played. But I don't think I've ever played a game that I've been so immersed in and felt not necessarily the need to like help help the world out a little bit, but I was like, I could do that. I could do that. I'll take a walk over there. And every time I did that, I was like, man, that was... I walked that whole way, and it was really nice. It was really pretty. It was really peaceful. And, like, I spent more time in my own head playing that game than I did playing, like, thinking about the game itself. It was like I was fucking hiking in real life in a video game.
So it was relaxing.
And it was super relaxing. And this whole time, you have this little baby strapped to you named BB, which is the name of my cat, which you already get a +1 because, I mean, that's like unfair. You already get like an A from the get-go if your BB's in the game. And then I've always had this like secret desires from when I was a kid, and I love that movie Postman.
Oh, with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Tom Petty's in that too.
That's why you like it.
Like, yeah, and like it always gave me this like, it's almost like the Postman movie in video game form, and that's fucking awesome. So like I kind of always wanted to do that, and I maybe, you know, sometimes I played toys like I was a mailman. Who knows? I mean, maybe you'd catch me doing that. But anyway, like it kind of gave me that mailman vibe. It was like if the world came to shit, I think maybe I'd want to do something like this guy's doing, you know? And the ending of that game, not necessarily the story told, but the way it happened and what you have to do. Like, you have to do. There's no choice in a lot of these things. And I think that that's actually the most important part of that game. And when you are faced with choices you have to make, man, I have never cried as hard as I did at the end of that game.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have even
Like,
thought.
my roommate came in and went, "Are you okay?" Because I was sobbing. I was sobbing, dude.
Did it leave open for a good sequel? Are you excited for the sequel?
I am. It didn't really, it did have like I don't think it was like necessarily a cliffhanger. I felt pretty fine with the end of that game. They could or could not make a sequel, but I will absolutely pick it up because I don't know how Kojima he basically went into a room and said, "Give me a boring concept and I'm going to make it fun." And that's what he did with that game.
That is like he would have the balls to do that.
He had the money to.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm going to do it." I love it. So it was just very influential, and it changed. I don't think it's the best game to come out that year or anything, but it changed the way I think about games before I even buy them. Like, what do I want to get out of this game?
I can see you always talk about how much you love that game. It does. Your passion for that game makes me interested, but I know I would hate it.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't as chattery, you could like it. I think the story would draw you away from it, but I think you could see what I like in it if you gave just the gameplay a shot.
Yeah, maybe someday. If it's free, I think it might be free.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, then maybe I will check it out.
If you ever come down with some kind of gaming drought or illness, like you know, like I need to I want to play a game and eat a bowl of soup, have a cup of cocoa,
next
play Death Stranding.
Next time I get COVID.
It's a lot of watching, and the things you do play, it's just like just kind of hold forward.
Nice. All right, you want me to go with my last one then?
Yeah. I'm done gushing. Go ahead.
Okay, my last one, and yet this is another game I don't even play anymore. But when I was like looking at my hours played, this is the #1 game I have played over the past years. I have put over 1,200 hours into this game, so I feel I have to pick it. It's Apex Legends.
Oh man, I actually for some reason didn't see this coming.
Yeah, the reason being because I haven't played Apex Legends probably in the past 6 months. I got off it. But from the time Apex Legends came out till about 6 months ago, I literally played Apex Legends like every night. I love everything about that game. The movement, the characters. It was by far the best battle royale to me. It's probably my second favorite multiplayer shooter of all time. I will still say Uncharted is better to me. But there is no game I put more time into the past 8 years than Apex Legends. And I never got good at it. I was never like a sweaty try hard. I always just played with like 2 or 3 of my friends for fun. And I think that is the game I probably would say it was my most played game. My favorite game of the past 8 years was Apex Legends.
Well, I mean, I think it makes total sense. I played it a little bit, and it basically was like Titanfall 2 in multiplayer form, and that game's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 with a battle royale. It's a shame because that's another one that was ruined just by greed and EA never addressing certain problems it created for itself. Cheating was the main thing. Even playing on console, I didn't have to deal with a lot of aimbotters, but I mean, by the end of it, everyone had a strike pack, or they were using skiffs, or they were doing something where it was just so overrun with try-hard cheaters that you couldn't even play the game anymore is the only reason I stopped playing that game.
That's such a shame.
Yeah, and they did something with the matchmaking. I could probably go back and chart season by season its downfall. I think actually Watson did a great video on it. You can watch his video. No, I mean, I guess Fortnite still lasting. I think Apex could have been like that, where it could have kept going if, it wasn't owned by EA.
Now, would you say, out of the big live service like shooter games, do you think it took the biggest nosedive out of all of them, or do you think Overwatch holds the title?
I don't know. You would have to look at player counts. I would think Apex still has some people, but I think Overwatch still probably has the same amount of people. I think Overwatch just got killed because of Marvel, essentially, whereas Apex just bled players slowly over time. I think it was just one of those.
I don't even... Well, I guess they do, because COD Warzone came out, and I guess that would be kind of a competitor to Apex.
Yeah, there were competitors over the years, and there's a lot of games other like shooters you could play. There was something about Apex, man. That game was so fucking good. I wish I could still play it. I think about it all the time. I think there's something missing in my life, and it might just be because my friends played it, and I always had someone to play Apex with. But it is like everyone is just playing Marvel now, so if my friends are going to play anything, it's going to be Marvel. It's just an easier game to play. But I think Apex was the best multiplayer shooter of the past 8 years.
And I can confirm, every time I hung out with Kester, he had played Apex that day.
Yep. And
or was planning on it. Or it was actually more rare for him to be like, dude, I didn't even get to play it yesterday. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I loved Apex. I think too, one of the main reasons I always loved Apex so much is I have never struggled in a video game like I struggle in that game. Like, it is so hard to win a match in that game. It's so hard to even get a kill. It was so like euphoric when you won one.
Yeah, it actually mattered. Like, the first time you won a Fortnite match, here's the second. But, like, we win them all the time when we play, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, you could go days without winning a match in Apex. You could go days without even having a good match. But there was just something about it, like how fast it was, the team aspects of it. I just wish EA wouldn't have killed it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
So
those are our games.
yeah, I think those are my like. I kind of went with like things that I really enjoyed, played the most, and they would be like, these are the 3 games you should play if you had only 3 to play, or at least experience.
Yeah,
And
my problem is like I wouldn't even recommend Genshin or Apex. But I mean, that's just how much like different of gamers we are. Like we both play a lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of times we play the same games, but our tastes are pretty different.
I think that's why we get along on the podcast and have different perspectives and can actually have interesting conversations. And like we don't hold our opinions against each other. Like I don't give a shit.
No, you like what you like. I like what I like.
Yeah, and we'll be honest and say that's bad, and you'll be like, no, it's not. I'll be like, all right.
Like you didn't finish Final Fantasy VII. I didn't finish Baldur's Gate. Like that's just how we are. We don't.
Exactly.
I'm more of I like live service games. I like shooters. I like competitive gaming a lot more than you.
Yes.
Like
yeah, I'm very much of like I want to go in my den and leave me alone and take me to a different world.
Like you playing Marvel Rivals is rare when it's like you'll actually play a competitive shooter.
Well, I love playing competitive games until I feel like they fuck me. And
Yeah.
like the Overwatch, I loved it until the loot boxes, in my opinion, were a little bit too out of hand. But like now looking back, I would have loved them. But I was like, I'd rather play Zelda.
Yeah, something single player.
But like
because
Marvel Rivals is
so much time in the day.
yeah, for sure.
That's like my honorable mention, or like the closest, the one that lost out that would have been 4 would have been Street Fighter 6. So it's like I just like competitive gaming.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time with them, so it's hard for you not to be like, these are important to me,
Yeah, exactly. When you play, I don't think you played a game for over 1,200 hours.
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, that's
No, not even ever close. Dude.
Yeah, that's actually funny because that's my second highest of all time. I put 1,600 into Overwatch.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hobby. I mean, that's what that is.
Yeah, that's just what I do when I'm not working. So.
I also have an honorary mention, so we must have been on the same page.
Okay, what's your honorary mention?
Monster Hunter Worlds.
Nice.
Segue.
Yeah. So you didn't get a chance to play at.
No, but it is honestly my honorary mention. It took me from like this franchise is pretty good to I fucking love this franchise now kind of game.
Yeah, what's the new one called? Worlds?
Wilds.
Okay. I actually never really played a Monster Hunter till this one. I remember trying the last one, World, and I just couldn't get into it. But this one, the new one, I'm liking. I'm about 5 hours in, and I'm having a good time.
Hell yeah, I like to hear that. As a Monster Hunter, I would not say I'm at all a vet. I would just say I enjoy the series. What is your weapon of choice thus far?
It's the like bow staff thing, spear. I can't remember what it's called.
Insect glaive?
Yes, insect glaive, the glaive.
Oh my god, dude, that was my very first weapon I like got good with. I fucking love that thing.
Yeah, I like the glaive. I've tried the dual blades. I liked those.
Those are like Attack on Titan verbatim in this game.
Yeah, they really are. I didn't even think.
Yeah, dude, you are literally fucking Levi in there.
Nice. I like.
Or chick, whatever you are.
Yeah, I'm a chick. What else did I like? I don't like the heavy slow weapons.
Yeah, I think the heavy slow weapons are bad for new people to the series. I think they're only fun when you're like looking for a little bit of an interesting challenge to go into a hunt with. You know what I mean? Like it's that like next level where you're like, okay, now that I have this monster's timing, I could do fun things with this really slow weapon because it'll just knock him off the fucking mountain. Like.
Yeah. I have a couple, like one issue I find dumb. I don't know if you want to get into all this.
Give us your first impressions. I mean, I haven't played yet, but I literally plan on playing.
I don't like how you're fighting the monster and it runs away and you have to get on your, whatever the fuck it's called, horse thing and chase it down, and then it runs away, and then you have, like, why do we have to do this 3 times? Like, and on every monster. It gets real quick to me. I don't like trying, like, having to forage everything. Like, just let me run past it and pick it up. Like, why do I have to hit a button?
I gotcha.
Yeah, that
you should look. You should look for settings. There actually might be an auto loot setting.
Okay, because that would change the game.
I think there might be, because I think I might have turned it on because I pick everything up anyway.
Yeah, it's like I have to go over here, then I have to hit X, carve.
Check it out. I think mining stuff and carving stuff you have to, because that's like a game mechanic.
Yeah.
But like picking up berries and shit, I think you can auto do that, but I could be wrong. Check that out.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Things I liked, fighting the monsters is fun. Dodging, it's hard to tell when these things are actually attacking you. So you just take hits a lot. The multiplayer works really cool, where you can just summon like shoot a flare off. I don't know if this is in the other ones.
Yeah, that's how it worked in Worlds. It's very fluid. Like, people just show up and help out. It's really nice.
That's a really cool concept, and I can't tell it's one of those things where I don't know as much as I should know about Monster Hunter, because I'll get dudes coming in like jumping off their horses and like clinging to the back of the monster and just bashing it. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, I think once you start learning the game more, like, it seems simple. You have like 2 buttons to attack, but then you realize if you're in this position, if you roll this way, if you're coming out of a roll, if you're in the air, like all of these things, it's like fighting almost. It's a fighting game. To be honest, it's all about combos in this game.
Yeah, I was learning that. Because if you go into the training area, it'll even tell you.
It's a different game, and I think what you're experiencing right now, in my opinion, is you're probably right about the animations. I've heard complaints about the monsters are almost like the graphics themselves it's difficult to distinguish when you're going to get hit or not. They're like almost like too realistic or something.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's too like.
Yeah.
Is that me? I think is he attacking me or the guy next to me? Like, is that an attack or is he just moving around?
Yeah, I think you're also in the conundrum of you're probably too good right now for the game, because once you fight your first hard monster, that usually takes a while. You'll hit that one wall monster. Those moments of reprieve when it runs away are moments where you're like, oh my, they're the save room of Resident Evil.
Okay, so you can heal and
because you're gonna have to sharpen, you're gonna have to heal, you're gonna have to hopefully, you might add another poison resistance. It gives you that second to breathe and before you had to control your character while doing that. Now this game added a mount that it will just do it for you, and you can take care of all your busy work.
Yeah, it is really nice doing that. Whenever you're on the mount chasing it down, you can sharpen.
I really do think that is what I think. It's like it's like the checkpoint system for Monster Hunter are those moments of quiet.
Nice.
So
maybe
love or hate them, later in the game they do become nice. Sometimes you're like, come on pussy, I didn't even get hit, and you're like running after them. But other times you're like, oh my god, I almost ran away.
I need a second here.
Yes, I can't breathe. Okay,
well, I'm looking forward to that Switch. But yeah, so far, like it.
Awesome. You're giving it a like. I'm giving it a very excited. It was a day one purchase for me, and I will give my my impressions shortly.
Yeah, we're gonna come back hopefully and do an impressions video soon. So
it'll be good and timely, and I think people would like to hear what we got to say. So
all right, well, that's the show. That's a good show. That's the show.
Hell yeah, guys! Thank you for listening. And Kester, you did a great job with the show. It was fucking. Honestly, not too much was like going on, but we got a lot of great content.
Yeah, it was a busier week than we thought. So, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you.